Right, hello guys. I did not anticipate that I would be back so soon with another video, but there is something today that I don't want people to miss out on, and that is of course this made to order Indomitus. So I'll talk about a couple of things in a moment, but first I just want to say that the Indomitus set, as per the Sisters set, which you'll remember released at the end of last year, and it's basically suffered the same issues, but I want to get into talking a little bit more about the details. What Games Workshop have decided to do with the Indomitus set, which obviously sold out the other day, they have decided to make this made to order. What this means is that everybody who missed out on the Indomitus box set can now get one, and they're not changing the price, it's still the same. You still save a hell of a lot compared to them being released individually, which is obviously a big concern for people. They were saying that's, not fair. Now the caveat which comes with that is that because they're made to order, they don't have them all just there ready, so it might take a while to get to people, but they're saying basically regardless, they know so many people want them that they will make them to order for you. So I'm sure this will be a big relief for many people, because of course I saw loads of people who said that they missed out and they were really frustrated that they couldn't get the box set. Well, now you can go to the link below and you'll be able to pick up an order. So that's the primary thing here. I wanted to give you guys a heads up so that you don't miss out. I made a community post, but I know that not everybody sees those, so I wanted to post here so that anybody that wants to get it, you'll see and you can not miss out on getting that. But of course, like, if I've made this video, I may as well talk around this issue as well. There's a few things going on here. So number one is, of course, I've seen, as anybody would see, that there's a lot of people very frustrated about this kind of situation with the exclusives, where they do like these limited releases, whether it's for books or whatever, any of these kind of things. And, I'm somebody that's been frustrated by that in the past. Obviously, when the Sisters thing came out, it was very, very difficult. I didn't manage to get a Sisters box when it came out from the Games Workshop site. The only way I managed to do that was through basically a third-party gaming store, which obviously had got some sets, and I was able to get one that way. But in the bigger sense, of course, there's a lot of people been talking about the kind of, the issue of these limited releases and how people buy them up and then just put them straight onto eBay for huge amounts of money, often double or even triple the price that Games Workshop are selling them for. And I do think this has been something which has been getting more and more annoying for the community. And it does make me think that, this is probably the reason why they decided to do this, because they have just seen the kind of frustration that it's creating. They're scalping, like people scalp tickets for events and so on and so on. You bulk buy the goods for whatever they are because they're limited in number, and then you sell them on for a ridiculous profit. And of course, everybody hates that. It's a disgusting practice that everybody is going to hate and be frustrated by. Nobody is going to think that that's a good thing, and everybody feels that this is like a real, sort of growing stain, because it seems to keep happening again and again. And of course, very obviously, it creates bad backlash for Games Workshop in many ways as well, because people are frustrated that they can't buy it in the first place from the website because they either sell out or they have issues buying. I mean, loads of people had the same issue I did with the Sisters, which is that you get through to the point where you're about to pay, and then maybe the website crashes or it can't handle the amount of traffic. You come back and bang, it's sold out. I saw loads of people saying that. So I guess the main thing people want answered is, like, why are they thinking to do this now? Why are they deciding to do this? This isn't something that they have necessarily done before. When they did the Sisters release, they didn't come in and do a made to order for their special edition there. They just waited until the regular edition came out. Well, with this one, I don't think that's going to happen. They're not going to do like a regular edition. They're just going to break down the units later. They will do, obviously, I guess, at some point. It's not been confirmed, but everybody assumes that there will be a beginner's edition, of course, for 9th edition, and that will probably have some other models in there as well. So the question has to be asked, why do they do this? Why don't they just do made to order from the beginning? Why don't they just do pre-order from the beginning? I mean, it's pretty obvious really as a business. If you have a massive ton of stock and you make it as a limited release or a special release or something, you're going to shift all of that stock, which is why I'm sure they do these special releases. It makes sense as a business, from a business point of view. If you have a huge thing and you hype it up and you sell all of those units, then great, you've not lost anything and you've made sure that you've maximized your profits there, right? But when it comes to the made to order thing, I guess if they did that overall, I mean, I guess that wouldn't be quite so efficient, because you're going to have to take all of those individual orders and roll them out like one by one or in batches or something along these lines, whereas if you just made a ton of something and you shift it all in one go. But it has to be the question, why do this when they didn't do this before? Now, any company, of course, I think, should care about the optics of these special releases. I talked about that a bit before, again, when I talked about the Sisters stuff. And whilst overall I think people are very happy to have like some kind of special release, that's why there was so much hype, that's why they all sold out, because so many people wanted to have this thing. Of course, on the other side of that, there's a lot of frustration. Now look, objectively, was this better in terms of the delivery than the Sisters release which came before? Yes, it was, okay, because, I don't care what people say, it was better, because the Sisters release, it literally went in an instant. Like, as soon as you were there, first thing in the morning, bang, all of those sets were gone, you couldn't get it, okay? But with the Indomitus set, it was a bit different. There definitely was this period of 5 or 10 minutes, which again, it doesn't sound like very much, but in terms of so many people ordering, there was this period in time where people were able to order. And I will also say that, you know, with the Sisters box, I heard so many people saying about how they missed out and how frustrating that was. But with this set, I found that I spoke with a lot more people that I know generally who are into 40k, and many of those people were able to secure items when often when these special release things come along, they are unable to. So it is my perception from people I've spoken to and just how it went down that this was better than the Sisters. Now, still clearly not good enough because so many people were venting how frustrating it was. So I'm not diminishing or dismissing the fact that there was a lot of people who couldn't get it. And that's exactly, of course, why Games Workshop have decided to react and provide people the opportunity to be able to order that, which is a good thing. And, you know, it doesn't matter like really how you want to frame it, it is just a good thing overall because now people can get the things that they want to get or not. You know, if you don't want to get it, if you feel like that because it was badly handled, that was frustrating for you and now you're done with everything and blah, blah, well, that's up to you. That's, you know, like I always say, these kind of things, it's a subjective consumer thing. If a brand, you know, frustrates you in some way, well, that's entirely up to you. You do whatever you want with your money. But if you are excited for this and seen it, and I've spent today building quite a significant amount of the models because, like I say, I want to paint these up and get them on the channel. It's fantastic. It's really good for people to be able to get this thing. And if I was someone who had missed out, I would definitely be very, very happy about this. Like I said, when I missed out with the Sisters box set before, I was absolutely beyond frustrated. So my final thought here is pretty straightforward, it's pretty obvious. Basically, this event created frustration for people because they couldn't get that. Games Workshop appeared to have seen this, reacted to that, so there's been a conversation somewhere where they decided, hey, you know, this has annoyed so many people, we need to do something about it, and they have reacted to that, which is good because it shows that they are aware of the majority of their community and decided that they need to do something as a reaction to that because it was, I guess, not creating a good optic for them in terms of maybe seeing all of these units that they had sold through a limited release being sold on for absurd profit. And hopefully that's part of the reason why Games Workshop are doing this. And hopefully it's one of the reasons why they will continue to do this if this reselling issue continues, where Games Workshop will say, hey look, there's no reason for you to do this scalping nonsense because we're just going to make it so that people can buy them. So you can go ahead and buy this stuff, but then you're just going to end up stuck with boxes that you can't do anything with and you can't resell because they can just buy it from us. Of course, it does raise the issue of one other thing, which is, would Games Workshop continue to do these special releases as they have if they're also going to do this made to order? Because you might ask yourself, well, why would I fuss and stress to try and, you know, get it on this release day, this special release day, if they're just going to make it made to order later? Well, the obvious answer to that is just waiting time. If they have, like, let's say 1 million boxes of something in a warehouse, they can just ship all those out as they're sold. If they have to make them to order, they have to make them to order, so you might have to wait. So you know, I think in one way this could be really good. If they said, hey look, when we do a special release, we will also do a period after, like a limited period after, where we make them to order. This is going to be good because it means that, okay, on that release day, maybe people won't be so frantic, but people will still try to get them because that is the quickest way for them to get them. But they will also have the peace of mind of knowing, hey look, if I miss out on the day, I don't have to feel absolutely stressed out because I know that I'm going to have maybe a little period of time soon where I will be able to order this, and yeah, it's not going to come maybe this week, but I will be able to get my hands on it eventually. And so I hope that's kind of the way things go, because I think that would definitely take a lot of pressure off of people, and you would still have that special release where people are trying to get their hands on something, but like I say, you'd just be able to get it later. Now, the last thing I want to say is that I make these videos now and then, like I did with the Sisters one, because I'm interested in business stuff, I'm interested in buying the models and just the thought process there. But look, I have made a lot of videos like this over the years where I've talked about obviously stuff to do with EA and Battlefield and all this kind of stuff. And I'd have to tell you, just as a producer, I'm kind of sick of it. Like it doesn't excite me making these kind of videos like it used to anymore. I don't feel sort of really impassioned about making this kind of style of video anymore. What I really care about is just the entertainment of the lore and the background and the narrative and the history. I really feel so passionate about talking about the stories and thinking about and speculating about this and that, and just trying to sort of help people, bring people into the hobby and learn about that kind of stuff. What is 40k and thinking about all this stuff. That's what I really enjoy doing. This kind of video, I make it because I feel like this is something that should be noted for people, but it doesn't really do anything for me. It won't be a video that's viewed particularly highly on the channel here or anything. And also, here's the other thing. The main thing that I hear from people, I get messages from people all the time which say, hey, your videos help me. They help help me relax, or they help me get through a difficult time, or I just love watching the videos. That's the main thing that I hear. And so what I want to stay focused on is just making the best videos, the most entertaining videos that I can for you guys, not making these constant videos where I'm talking about industry issues and manufacturing issues and all this kind of stuff. It's interesting for sure, but it's just not what I really care about at this point. I like painting the models, I like being creative with the models and designing my army and thinking about the background for the army and all this kind of stuff. That's what I'm interested in, and that's what I want to stay focused on. So I'm not saying I'm never going to make this kind of video, but that's not what I really want to be focused on. It's just not what I enjoy anymore, and it's not really what I want to talk about. There's a lot of people who will talk about that stuff. I want to talk about the lore, I want to talk about painting my models and thinking about background and fiction and stuff. That's what I'm focused on, and I hope people can kind of appreciate that. So yeah, but you know, like I say, this needed to be highlighted because I did feel like this was like a critical change of direction, that they made their mind, hey, you know, actually we need to make this available for people, and I just thought it was very noteworthy. So as always, guys, put your thoughts about this down below. In the meanwhile, I'll be working on some new stuff, which like I said, I'm going to try and smash through some vids this month, so there'll be some more stuff coming along the way. So as always, I'll just say thanks so much for watching. Tell me what you think down below, and I'll see you in the next one very soon.